Hello, and welcome to Tree Talk, the podcast about agroforestry. I'm your host, Ella Williams. In today's episode, we're going to cover the basics. What is agroforestry? What are the different types of agroforestry and its benefits? Where agroforestry is the most popular? Different practices of agroforestry? And why agroforestry is so important in our current climate. First, what is agroforestry? Well, agroforestry is a land use system where trees, shrubs, and livestock are all managed and grown around or among traditional crops. As the years go by, the concern for climate change grows. The fossil fuels being emitted into our atmosphere are having a significant impact on the warming of our planet. One of the biggest factors contributing to the increase in fossil fuels in our atmosphere is deforestation. Trees store billions of tons of carbon every year. Not only that, but the implementation of agroforestry has many benefits. In addition to storing carbon, agroforestry has many benefits. They can control runoff and soil erosion, reducing losses of water, soil material, organic matter, and nutrients. All of these are important for a sustainable agricultural system. Second, agroforestry practices can maintain more favorable soil physical properties than regular agricultural systems through organic matter maintenance and the effects of the tree roots. This can lead to more closed nutrient cycling than traditional agriculture and hence to more effective use of nutrients. Agroforestry can provide a more diverse farm economy and stimulate the whole rural economy, leading to more stable farms and communities. Economic risks are reduced when systems produce multiple products. Now that I've touched on some of the most notable benefits of agroforestry, I want to break down the common practices of agroforestry. Agroforestry practices take advantage of the land and reap the benefits of its interactive nature. Most commonly, agroforestry is separated into 5 distinct but related practices. We have alley cropping, forest farming, riparian forest buffers, silvopastoral systems, and windbreaks. There are also specialized applications of agroforestry dependent on the setting and desired outcome. Alley cropping is a cultivation of food, forage, or specialty crops between rows of trees. There are many benefits to alley cropping, including reducing wind speed and erosion, sheltering the crops. Alley cropping can provide profitable opportunities for row crop farmers, hardwood timber growers, and growers of Christmas trees. The second most common type of agroforestry is forest farming. Forest farming involves the cultivation of high-value non-timber crops under the protection of a forest canopy. Examples of crops grown using forest farming are ginseng, shiitake mushrooms, and decorative ferns. The forest canopy is modified to provide the needed shade for a crop. Forest farming can promote biodiversity by reestablishing naturally occurring plants and thus attracting native wildlife. Third, we have riparian forest buffers. Riparian forest buffers are natural or reestablished stream-side forests made up of trees, shrubs, and grasses. Riparian forest buffers help to reduce the impact of non-point source pollution from agricultural operations on land adjacent to waterways. This type of agroforestry can help prevent erosion and protect water sources from eutrophication. The fourth type of agroforestry are windbreaks. This is just as the name states. Windbreaks are an agroforestry system that involve the planting of trees in a linear design to enhance crop production. Windbreaks in the field protect wind-sensitive crops and control wind erosion. The last main common type of agroforestry system is a silvopastoral system. This describes a system of agroforestry that integrates trees with either pastures or animals. For this system, I want to highlight Dr. Alan Franz-Lubers from the Center of Environmental Farming Systems, who studies silvopastoral systems, and his recent lecture on the benefits of silvopastoral systems.
You can, of course, diversify the on-farm income because you have both timber products as well as forages, which you can harvest mechanically or graze. There's an opportunity to increase biological diversity, and in all agroecosystems, that biological diversity can be an important thing to avoid perturbations from weather or from chemicals that sometimes make our systems less resilient. So there's an opportunity to improve forage quality because the shading of the trees can, in fact, sometimes reduce stress on the forages, but too much shade reduces the forage biomass, and then oftentimes that is then related to poor animal gain as well. So this wildlife habitat can be very important, especially where these parcels are placed on the land. If they're all only on the uplands, then perhaps the wildlife habitat is going to be different. It may be songbirds that are out there, but if you have next to streams or for other unique ecosystem corridors, you can increase wildlife habitat considerably. Certainly shade for livestock in North Carolina and in many of the southeastern states. This is an important aspect because livestock do undergo stress in the summertime, and they can oftentimes overcome it, but it leads to lower productivity. There's this opportunity because trees oftentimes are harvested in clear cut. The idea behind a sort of a distributed tree nature is that actually you can get equipment in to harvest trees much more readily, and you won't have to disturb the land as much. And by controlling the understory, you can reduce wildfire risk considerably. There's also an opportunity to control insects, and that it depends on the species combination, but these are attributes of this biodiversity that can be improved. And there's an opportunity to minimize the risk of low pulp market prices because the trees can be thinned. You can plant them thick first and then, of course, thin them. But the idea is that one is growing saw timber for a purpose. And having that investment makes for a greater land value and an appreciation for that parcel of land. And there could be opportunities for recreational activities. Certainly, hunting licenses have been leased out, and that can give landowners an opportunity.
Next, I want to highlight an agroforestry system in Uganda that started over 25 years ago. Frances Nakito from Uganda hugs her first tree planted together with VI Agroforestry from 25 years ago. She explains that her yields have increased because of agroforestry and sustainable agricultural methods. She says that the family members are healthier and the livelihood has improved. A quote from her states, "I pass this amazing tree every day and it reminds me how important it is to take care of our environment. It also makes me feel proud of myself and my improvements." This is just one of many agroforestry systems that have helped improve the livelihoods of smallholder farmers from all around the world. Some ways to get involved and promote agroforestry are to advocate for our forests, plant trees where you can, go paperless, buy recycled products, and eat a vegetarian diet. Also, encourage reforestation efforts through integrating agroforestry in traditional agricultural landscapes. Reach out to your local farmers to see what they can do to implement agroforestry in their crop systems. Third, you can donate to agroforestry research and initiation funds. A few are globalliving.org and agroforestry.co.uk. Also, Grow Ahead has a wonderful agroforestry initiation fund. You can read more about it at growahead.org/plant-trees/. Keep an eye out for episode 2 next week at our website, sites.google.com/ncsu.edu/practice.agroforestry.com. To stay updated with us and all things agroforestry, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Practice Agroforestry. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Tree Talk, and I hope you learned something new about agroforestry. I'm your host, Ella Williams, signing off.